So this is the first video from IATEFL 2016, just reporting on a couple of things that I've seen and done during the conference. So it's day one, but yesterday I attended the pre-conference event for Teacher Development SIG, and there were three presentations. I did one of them on qualities of effective teachers, and there were two more. One was by Suzanne Antonaros, and it was a really interesting presentation about how identity and culture and language are interconnected. And Suzanne showed us a video that she recorded with some English teachers in Greece, and the teachers were basically talking about culture, identity and language and interplay. And so there's been lots of questions really raised during that presentation and during the open sessions where we discussed the topic a little bit more. So things like, for example, is language and culture really closely connected? Can you teach language without teaching culture? And in case of English, for example, what is the culture that you would teach if you were to teach culture? Because English now is a global language, isn't it? So would you teach British culture or American culture? Would that have any value for students in Vietnam, for example, who might be then interacting in English with Chinese people and doing business in Hong Kong? So there were all sorts of questions as well, and also the interplay, I think, of your first culture, your mother tongue culture, if we can call it like that, and then the English culture. And as an English teacher, as a non-native speaker, how do you deal with that? How do you introduce that in the class? So that was really interesting, I thought, and there were probably more questions than answers, really, especially in the open sessions where we explored the topic a little bit more. So something to think about for you. I don't really have any answers here, but can you teach language without culture? Can you be proficient without knowing much about the culture? Should we teach culture to our learners in English? And if so, what that culture would be? Would that be British, American, or something else? And the other presentation was by Liliana Sanchez from Mexico. And her presentation was on accountability and responsibility, and it was on assessing teachers. She talked about a big project in Mexico where teachers are being assessed, and if they fail that assessment, they might actually lose their jobs. So she presented some ideas for assessment criteria for teachers, and on the face of it, they kind of looked fair, and but I think the problem is that the teachers are not involved in the process. And also Liliana said that a lot of them, because the observations are so important, they might actually lose their jobs if they fail the assessment. Obviously the teachers are not very happy to be observed and assessed, and they're very much against the idea. And so we talked a lot about how we can involve the teachers in the process of observations, be it sort of formal quality control observations or just informal professional development observations. Should the teachers be involved in creating the assessment criteria? If so, how? So if you've got any comments on that, be interesting to hear from you, because again, we explored that topic a lot in the open sessions, and again, lots of issues were raised, and there's probably more questions than answers, but it was a very interesting session. And then I did one on qualities of effective teachers, which I presented part of my PhD research that I did in Poland, and we talked about what makes a great teacher, also in different contexts, especially during the open sessions we explored that, how these qualities might be different in different teaching contexts, how you should adapt and be flexible as a teacher to adjust to the educational and cultural traditions of a given country, and how much you should adjust and why or why not. So the Teacher Development Pre-Conference event was really good, I thought. The food was fantastic. Thank you for that, Shinette. and thanks to everybody from the TD SIG committee for organizing it. And I'll definitely recommend it for those of you who are not members of the TD SIG. Definitely check out the website, tdsig.org, check out the events that they're organizing. There are online events as well, and if you're a member of IATEFL, you might want to become a member of the TD SIG as well, and maybe we'll meet there next year.